Why is human life the greatest treasure we possess, and yet the cheapest thing we invest in? Why do nations around the world, from superpowers to developing countries, spend more on weapons of destruction than on healthcare, poverty eradication, or education? Today on Pyroot, we unpack this global tragedy and call for a revolution in how we value human life. Welcome back to Pyroot. Across the planet, a disturbing paradox unfolds. Despite vast improvements in medicine and technology, millions still die from preventable diseases, hunger, and war. Yet, billions of dollars pour into military budgets far exceeding healthcare investments. This stark choice reflects not just misplaced priorities, but a fundamental crisis in how humanity views life itself. As we detail the facts behind these choices, we will also explore the philosophical meaning behind valuing human life and why, paradoxically, it remains the cheapest commodity in the world today. Globally, military expenditure hit a record $2.7 trillion in 2024, a 9.4% increase led by defense giants such as the United States, China, Russia, Germany, and India. The US alone accounted for almost $900 billion, funding cutting-edge weapons from hypersonic missiles to AI systems designed for war. This spending dwarfs healthcare budgets in many nations. In stark contrast, worldwide healthcare spending, though growing, struggles especially in low-income countries. According to studies, for every 1% increase in military spending, healthcare spending drops by approximately 0.6% globally, and the effect is even harsher in poorer countries, where nearly a 1% increase in military budget leads to almost a 1% cut in health expenditure. African nations, grappling with complex health challenges, are no exception. Only a few governments meet the Abuja Declaration goal to allocate 15% of national budgets to health. Many still prioritize military spending despite ongoing health crises. The Democratic Republic of Congo and South Sudan, for example, are among the African countries with the fastest increasing military budgets, fueled largely by internal conflicts. This means funding that could save millions by improving hospitals, vaccinating children, or combating malnutrition instead arms fighters and fuels violence. In Ethiopia, the civil conflict rages on, especially in the Amhara and Oromia regions, after years of instability intensified by ethnic tensions and insurgencies. The war has caused thousands of civilian deaths and injuries, mass displacements, and widespread human rights abuses. Hospitals and health services are overwhelmed or destroyed. Emergency medical supplies often fail to reach conflict zones. Meanwhile, Sudan remains engulfed in a brutal civil war between rival military factions since April 2023, centered in Khartoum and the Darfur region. Over 61,000 deaths just in Khartoum alone, and nearly 25 million people face extreme hunger due to war-induced disruptions. The international community calls it one of the worst humanitarian crises worldwide, with atrocities reaching the level of genocide. In both countries, these conflicts directly reduce healthcare access, degrade living conditions, and entrench poverty. This enduring violence starkly highlights what it means for human life to be undervalued through political and military priorities. Philosophically, Human life is the foundation of all value. Without life and the human effort it enables, material wealth is meaningless. The late Solomon S. Huebner, an influential thinker, argued that a nation's true wealth is not its natural resources or material assets, but the collective value of its people, their health, talent, and creativity. Yet paradoxically, despite this truth, human life remains the cheapest investment. Governments pour trillions into devices designed to destroy life rather than preserve it. The world tolerates millions of preventable deaths quietly while cooling its fears with technological advances in weaponry. This contradiction stems not from a lack of resources or ability, but from how societies and governments choose to define power and security. Militarism glorifies dominance through force. It views life instrumentally, often subordinating the welfare of ordinary people. In reality, security and true power arise from nurturing life through healthcare, education, economic opportunity, and social justice. Only by investing fully in these can humanity break free from cycles of conflict and deprivation. The cost of privileging military spending over healthcare and social welfare goes beyond morality. It undermines development and stability. Economically, war drains resources, destroys infrastructure, and displaces communities, making recovery harder and deeper poverty inevitable. Globally, redirecting even 10% of military budgets toward health and poverty reduction could transform millions of lives. In Africa, where conflict intersects with poverty and disease, such investments would build stronger health systems and more resilient societies. The path forward demands changing narratives around security and prosperity. Instead of viewing guns as the ultimate guarantee of peace, humanity must reclaim the idea that human life itself is the greatest asset. This requires leadership committed to disarmament, peace-building, and social investment, public advocacy to hold governments accountable, and a cultural revolution embracing empathy and human dignity as central to progress. Human life is the greatest miracle and opportunity we have, yet it is treated as the cheapest commodity on earth. As we see in Ethiopia, Sudan, and many other places, the choice to fund war over health leads to endless suffering. But this is not inevitable. We hold the power to redefine what security means, to invest in life and not death, and to build a future where humanity's true wealth, its people, is cherished, protected, and empowered. If you believe this message is urgent, please like, share, and subscribe to Pi Root, where we challenge the status quo and root for a better, more humane world. Thank you for watching.